In the hidden world of snakes, survival is not always about hunting. Sometimes it is about facing an equal rival. From the precision of the king cobra to the raw strength of pythons and the endurance of kingsnakes, every encounter becomes a test of instinct, timing, and control. Because here, every movement matters, and a single second can change everything. From a small yard, a coral snake suddenly closes in and delivers a rapid strike onto a worm snake, establishing control almost instantly. The two bodies twist together, rolling across the ground as the prey attempts to break free. The worm snake reacts by biting back, but fails to generate enough force to escape. The coral snake possesses neurotoxic venom that directly affects the nervous system, reducing muscular control, while the worm snake is small, non-venomous, and primarily adapted for burrowing, offering little effective defense. As the venom takes effect, movement becomes slower and increasingly uncoordinated. The coral snake tracks along the body, assessing response before tightening control. It then aligns toward the head and begins swallowing with precise muscular rhythm. The scene shifts to the edge of brushland, where a giant python approaches a smaller python already holding prey and suddenly launches into an overlapping constriction. The coils tighten in steady rhythm, preventing the smaller python from creating space to counter. With each struggle, the pressure increases and locks more firmly. In pythons, constriction synchronizes with the prey's breathing. Each exhale tightens, the pressure reducing circulation. The smaller individual lacks leverage and weakens quickly. Movements gradually slow and lose coordination. Once motion ceases, the larger python stabilizes its body axis to avoid misalignment. It begins swallowing both the rodent and the rival along a straight axis, minimizing resistance. The setting moves into dense grass, where a kingsnake secures the head of a massive rattlesnake. From the very beginning, maintaining control over the most vulnerable point throughout the encounter. The rattle vibrates weakly but offers no real advantage. The kingsnake maintains steady pressure and drags the prey into a more concealed area. Kingsnakes have a degree of resistance to rattlesnake venom, allowing prolonged contact, while relying on constriction rather than venom to subdue prey. Resistance weakens over time. Once the head is fully controlled, the swallowing process begins from the front to ensure safety. Each movement of the jaws advances the process steadily. In another setting, a kingsnake falls into a disadvantage after being struck first by a ring-necked snake, slowing its response at a critical moment. As the opponent closes in, a neck hold is established, quickly forcing the king snake onto its back and out of position. The ring-necked snake maintains distance, reducing the risk of countercoiling. Ring-necked snakes possess mild rear-fanged venom and use sustained biting to reduce mobility, while king snakes rely on constriction and can lose advantage when caught off guard. The king snake's movements become slower and less coordinated. As control stabilizes, the ring-necked snake begins swallowing from the head in steady rhythm. Its body expands gradually as the prey is consumed. In nature, a single moment of lost initiative can reverse roles entirely. On dry red soil, a kingsnake follows scent trails and approaches a rattlesnake hidden beneath a rock. A rapid strike is delivered at the precise moment the prey shifts position, pulling it into open space for control. The rattlesnake struggles, attempting to reposition for a counterstrike, but its head is already secured. Kingsnakes use chemical sensing through the Jacobson's organ to track scent with precision, while rattlesnakes rely on warning rattles and rapid strikes when distance allows. Backward curved teeth help the kingsnake maintain grip during swallowing, preventing backward escape. Movements quickly lose coordination as control is maintained. Without delay, the kingsnake begins swallowing from the head. On damp forest ground, a copperhead lies partially restrained within the coils of a kingsnake, with only the lower body still moving faintly. The constriction tightens in cycles, preventing full expansion of the lungs. The copperhead attempts to bite, but cannot break the hold. The king snake increases pressure in sync with the prey's breathing cycle, reducing circulation, while the copperhead relies on hemotoxic venom and precise strikes rather than strength. Smooth scales and muscular structure help the kingsnake maintain alignment with minimal friction during feeding. As movement fades, the predator maintains its hold to eliminate risk. It aligns the jaws and begins swallowing slowly. On dry leaf litter, a water moccasin is forced to change its decision after attempting to consume prey that proves too large. It begins to regurgitate a larger kingsnake, pushing sections back outward. Movement becomes heavy and unstable as the body cannot maintain swallowing posture. Water moccasins are semi-aquatic with potent venom, but feeding efficiency depends heavily on prey-to-predator size ratio. Snakes can regurgitate to reduce energy burden when threatened or when prey is too large. After several attempts, it abandons the effort and retreats. Beneath a tree, a speckled kingsnake holds a copperhead within a stable constriction, both nearly motionless. It does not rush, waiting for the right moment to minimize risk. Once the prey can no longer resist, the predator begins to straighten the body. Speckled kingsnakes are known for waiting until a safe threshold before feeding, reducing the chance of counterattack. Straightening the prey aligns the swallowing axis, reducing friction and improving efficiency. Movements remain slow and precise. The head is aligned and feeding begins. Across open ground, a king cobra approaches a python and delivers the initial strike, forcing it to retreat. It then shifts target to the body, biting and pulling the prey away from its original position. The python twists in resistance but cannot create space. The king cobra's neurotoxic venom reduces mobility quickly, while the python relies on constriction that requires space to function effectively. Continuous adjustment of bite angle allows the cobra to maintain control while repositioning the prey. Once the head is secured, the cobra stabilizes its hold. Swallowing begins in steady, muscular rhythm. In nature, changing targets at the right moment can shift the entire encounter. In another clearing, a rattlesnake searching for prey encounters a water moccasin lying in ambush. A rapid strike from the moccasin secures the neck before the rattlesnake can issue a warning. The prey struggles and briefly escapes, but not far enough to leave the area. Water moccasins rely on strong bite force and ambush behavior near water edges, while rattlesnakes depend on warning signals to create safe distance before striking. In confined spaces, warning advantages diminish, making ambush more effective. The moccasin quickly re-establishes control at the head. Movement weakens over time. Once control is complete, feeding begins. Nature is filled with moments rarely seen where balance shifts beneath the surface. If these real wildlife encounters capture your interest, continue exploring more remarkable stories from the natural world, where every movement matters and the story of survival never truly ends.